Bringing you one step closer to being Dash.
What's up, YouTube? It's Classic 1383. I'm back, even though I never really left. I'm gonna talk about TNA Impact. Before I do that, I'm gonna time myself. This is gonna be a nice little 15-minute review. It's not going into two parts. Basically, like, I'm gonna kind of tribute this show to CJ Styles a little bit, but instead of like 5 things I like, 5 things I didn't like, it was actually more like 6 or 7 things I didn't like versus like 4 things I liked, or I think it was 3. I don't know. Before I go into it, you guys need to subscribe to WrestlingRevolution.com. We're having like a cool little contest, like we're doing like our pay-per-view contest again. And I admit I'm not really sure like on all the details, but I know like the top 3 winners in this contest are gonna win prizes. So I think they're doing like.
If I may interrupt, you have to sign up to the website, but signing up is free, phonies. It's absolutely free, and you really don't have to enter personal information, but otherwise, check it out, phonies. It's totally gonna be worth it. I might even participate, but I know Classic is.
I'm thinking about doing Heart Attack for my next video. So, but anyway, let's talk TNA. I'm going to be nice and talk about the good things I liked about the show first. Overall, I would say if I had to give the show a grade on a 1 to 10 scale, I'd give it maybe a 4, I guess. But let's talk about what I did like.
Wow, there were actual highlights on this show?
The main event was good. It was the Hardy Boys versus Anderson and RVD. They gave it like 10 minutes. Like, it was a pretty good matchup. Didn't really have like your typical Hardy Boy double team moves, like, you know, how Matt will set himself up and Jeff will jump in the corner and springboard. Like, it didn't have that. Basically, like, it was just them kind of doing some of their singles moves. Like, Matt hit like kind of like a side effect, but he didn't jump with it. I don't know if he goofed it up or not. Matt missed the moonsault. Jeff hit a front vertical suplex. There was a fuck up part of the match where like there was RVD did like was going for a split leg moonsault on Matt Hardy, and Jeff like was dragging him out of the ring, but he didn't drag him out fast enough, and I think RVD like landed on Matt's head for like a second or something. So, but then RVD followed it up with a crossbody to the outside, which was cool. And then the finish of the matchup basically ended with interference. Earlier in the night, like, Beer Money got beat down by Anderson and RVD, which was actually one of my bad things about the show, but I'll get to that later. But so basically, like, Beer Money interfered in the matchup, and like they hit some double team moves on RVD and Anderson, and then Hardy Boys hit Twisted Hate Swanton, and they won. So even though it was interference, it kind of sort of made sense, but otherwise I liked the match overall. Second thing I liked about the show was the Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle little promo thing that they did. Basically, like, Kurt Angle, so Jarrett was like saying he's gonna hang up his boots on his mixed martial arts career, which I think that's dumb, but I like what they did. Kurt Angle came out and cleaned house on Team Jarrett, and he was gonna, you know, attack Jeff Jarrett, and then Karen Jarrett, former Karen Angle, she came out and was all like, you know, stop. She's like, you know, we're not gonna do it your way anymore. Next week you're gonna hear my side of the story. So I know they should have did this angle like a long time ago, but at least they're still doing it, you know. So it can be good. I'm gonna give it a chance. So that was number 2. And then actually, yeah, I think the main event was number 3. This was number 2, and then my number 1 favorite thing of the show was Beer Money versus Motor City Machine Guns for the tag titles. Wasn't like one of their greatest matches they've had, but it was a solid match overall. We had like a double high flying to the outside attack. Like Shelley did like a suicide dive, and Sabin hit a crossbody. And then later in the matchup, like, basically the matchup was Sabin was getting beat down by both Beer Money for a while, and then Shelley got a tag in. He hit like a bulldog on Storm and like a heart attack on Rude, like double team move, which was pretty cool. He did a Warrior's Wave. If you ever remember Low Key's like double foot stomp for the top rope, he did that to him, and didn't pin him, got a 2 count. And then the Motor City Machine Guns, they hit their finisher on I think it was James Storm, that neckbreaker splash move they do. It got broken up, and then the finish of the matchup was like, what was it? Shelley was gonna super kick. I think it was Storm. He was gonna super kick Storm, but he wound up hitting Sabin with it, and then Beer Money hit the DWI and they pinned him. So Beer Money retains the tag titles. Like overall, I thought it was real solid. Gave the match 3.5 out of 5. So that was like actually one of the good matches. So now we go into the negative things of the show.
And holy shit, was there a lot of negative on this show, phonies?
Actually, before I do that, the knockout stuff was actually, well, I guess the knockout stuff was negative. So I'm not going to number this stuff because there's a lot of negative stuff. But we'll start with the knockouts. Now, normally I like the knockouts a lot. I always support them and stuff, but their match was like 3 minutes long, and it had interference in it. Like, Mickie James interfered in the matchup. Like, at one point, like, Madison was gonna, I think she was gonna use, like, like, Tara's, like, elbow pad or loaded glove or whatever the fuck it is. She was gonna use that, and then Mickie came out and, like, started attacking Madison, and then she, like, cheap-shotted Tara, and ref didn't see it. And then the finish of the matchup was, like, Winter did, like, it was kind of like a Steiner recliner, but she wasn't, like sitting down with it. She was kind of like doing the move like on the side or something, and she made like Tara pass out, and they did the whole Chris Masters thing where like Tara's arm falls down once and the ref calls for the belt. I didn't like that at all. So I came up with the name Beautiful Winter for Angelina Love and Winter's tag team name. So, but overall I didn't like the match. They had like another thing I didn't like, they had like the Pope and Samoa Joe, they had like a promo or whatever. Pope saying he forgave Joe, but then he was like, Joe, let me show you what it's like to, follow you around with a camera. But instead he shows like a picture of like 2 pigs or something, making fun of Joe's weight or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, I also know you have a kid. And then they showed like pigs like feeding off a mother or something. It was retarded. It was fucking stupid. And then Joe came out and was all like, I'm not gonna chase after you now because you're a bitch, but I'm gonna kill you. This promo, like, even though it wasn't long, it was like 5 minutes, but still, they should have had some kind of like attack or something where security breaks it up or something. So I didn't like that. Another thing I didn't like. Yeah, this is kind of a negative review. What else didn't I like? One thing I really didn't like. RVD and Beer Money, well, RVD and Mr. Anderson, like, they went to go to Immortal's room, because basically they were like, all right, we're fed up with these constant attacks, so they got, like, weapons, like, RVD had a chair, Anderson had, like, a 2x4, they went into Immortal's locker room, Beer Money were the only people in there, and they attack him, but they didn't show, like, any, like, actual, like, footage of them attacking them, like, chair shots or punches or nothing, like, they just closed the door, and all you're hearing is, like, sound effects going on in there, so it's like they close the door and they're probably, like, slamming chairs on crap and no actual, like, attack at all. So it's like they were too cheap to show the attack or something. I didn't like that.
What an asshole.
Oh, what else I didn't like? Let's see. Oh, here's something I really didn't like. Okay. So, at the pay-per-view, like, Douglas Williams lost the television title to Abyss. Well, they decided to have Abyss versus Matt Morgan in a non-title match on Impact. Basically, Matt Morgan kicked Abyss's butt the whole time. It was like a 4-minute match. I'm not really faulting Morgan on this at all, but basically, like, he won the match with the carbon footprint. I'm not faulting Morgan on this at all, but basically there was just a couple things I didn't like about this. Like, number one, you know, it's a television title match, so why isn't the title, like, on the line, you know? Isn't that its purpose, to be a television title, to be on the line? So that's one complaint. Second complaint, there was, like, a part in the match where, like, toward the end, after Morgan hit the carbon footprint, Flair was pulling Hebner, like, out of the ring. He was dragging him out of the ring, and then Hebner just kind of slid back in and counted the 3 count anyway. So, like, I didn't really understand the whole purpose of that. You know, why not have made it like a title match and then had it be like a DQ or something right there? So that's like another thing that didn't make sense. Third thing, you know, why is Matt Morgan fighting the television champion instead of, like, you know, another main eventer guy like some? Didn't like it. So let's see. I don't know. There was no Douglas Williams on this show either, too, so it wasn't like he was coming out to, you know, demand a rematch or anything either, so I also didn't like that. Oh, sorry guys if I'm kind of rambling, I'm just kind of tired. So, yeah, I pretty much talked about the main event. Oh yeah, that was basically Impact in a nutshell. There were some other promos. Karen Angle was looking good, or Karen Jarrett. She was looking good. I don't know. I got like 3 minutes left I can kill, I guess. Oh, and guess what? They are coming again! Shit! Pepsi's awesome. Though I need to lose some weight so I don't look like Fat Hardy. You know, that's one thing I don't get with Fat Hardy. Like, he said something like he had like a GI problem or something, but I don't know, I saw him on Impact tonight and just like he just has like this gut. So it's like, I don't know if he just stopped working out in the gym or what, you know? I mean, I know you can have like a GI problem, and maybe you might have a little bit of distension, but I don't know, man. I think he just needs to, you know, lose some more weight or something. So, I don't know. I plugged WrestlingRevolution.com. If you guys want to see something funny, like, I'll put the links in the description box, but, I know a lot of you guys probably aren't, like, a big Zack Ryder or Yoshitatsu fans, but if you are, like, I have a cool little, like, feud I'm kind of made up between the two. Like, they've had matches on Superstars, like, a couple of times over the last month, and I've been doing, like, a little feud between them or something. Like, basically, they just had a regular, ordinary match, and I had Zack Ryder talking crap on Facebook about Tatsu or whatever. I think it was something about, like, him destroying him faster than the bombing on Pearl Harbor or something, like a little Japanese joke, nothing personal or anything. And Tatsu wins the match, and then so I made it where like it had interfered with Ryder's like personal life so bad that people were making fun of him that he lost so much and whatnot. And then I put like a little clip of like him talking with Rosa Mendez, and then he just like sees this like image of Tatsu. It's supposed to be like kind of like an image in his head or something, and he's like, "I'm gonna beat you up, I'm gonna get you," and then they wrestle again later, and he still loses. So if they do another match on Superstars or something, I'll try to like come up with something more creative to keep the feud going. But I'll put the links in the description box for you guys because I think it's pretty funny stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do another Classic MD show pretty soon. I might keep doing more of these little commentary things that I've been doing. Like, I enjoy doing them. They're funny. They're easy to do. So, I don't know if I'm going to do SmackDown or not this weekend. Probably not. So, yeah. According to the beeper, my time's just about up. So, Classic 1333. Thanks for watching, guys. And sign up for the contest on the website. I plan on entering it myself. So, maybe I'll compete with you. Peace out.